I've said it before in previous videos, and I'm probably going to say it 50 million times again, but fighting games are an incredibly personal experience. You invest a lot of yourself in these things. From the way that you pick your color, to the way that you pick your character, a lot of these things are intimate acts that make you feel a little bit more connected to the game, piece by piece. I know that a lot of pro players say that character loyalists are kind of holding themselves back a bit by doing that it's almost like a crutch, an unwillingness to experiment, an unwillingness to engage in the meta because of some form of either weird, whimsical, childlike wonder or insecurity about not being able to step up to the plate. But in reality, I think character loyalists are simply just, it's you as a person kind of whittling down your choices, right? So like the casts in fighting games have expanded quite a lot as of recently. So it's kind of difficult to pick one character to mess around with. And you're not somebody who's trying to be a pro by any means, but you still want to keep the game competitive. So you want to pick a character that seems cool to you, right? There can be so many different things. The way that they look, the way that they play, the way that they sound, or sometimes I think a weirder one that people don't really consider because it may seem a little corny is the character's philosophy. For me, I don't really play a lot of evil characters, so just for some reason I don't really vibe with like characters that are evil. Their mannerisms, the way that they look typically, or the way that they talk, it's just something that I don't vibe with. Not because I'm a fucking good boy who doesn't do any crime. Well, I don't do crimes, but you know what I'm talking about. It's just that I typically tend to mess around with the aesthetics of hero characters or anti-hero characters way more than I do with villains. So you will see me typically play characters that fit that archetype. The reason why I bring up all of this really intimate and like the reason why I bring up like intimacy with your character, or that's a fucking terrible word, you people are gonna fucking say horrible things about that. The reason why I say about making a strong connection with a character that you pick is because you kind of, if you really think about it, picking a character is kind of an extension of yourself to a degree. I know, again, it's a little corny at the end of the day, describing it as like your avatar or your persona or some kind of thing is, we're kind of diving into like weird LARP like cornball territory. But I assure you, it's more of just like a natural cause. You have an interest in this character, more than likely because of the interest that you see in your daily life. So picking this character means that you are, even unintentionally, connected to them in some way. So this loops to the main topic of the video on why people hate the mirror match so much. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of people aren't going to like the answer I'm going to say, but it's kind of a pill that you got to swallow. Look in the mirror and simply just say, it's an ego problem. You see, we have like caveman brain sometimes, and tribalism tends to be sort of the go-to thing for a reactionary position that people might take. So your brain kind of automatically makes a conclusion the moment that versus screen pops up and you see somebody playing your character. The little intrusive thought in your head, the voice in the back of your mind saying, because that person picked the same character I picked, they are making a statement that they not only like that character more than me, but they are better than me if they beat me. Now, of course, hindsight's 20/20 and thinking logically, that's frankly fucking insane. But a lot of the reason why people don't like the mirror matches is because of this very reason. Again, like I said, people aren't going to like it. A lot of people are going to say that, oh, it's just, I don't really like messing around with the same character that I'm playing with because, they're just doing the same moves as me and it's really fucking annoying. I don't really know how to play around my own character. I'm trying to learn how to play against other characters. My number one excuse when I was younger was that every single match in a fighting game was a teachable moment. And to me, I felt as if mirror matches were the quintessential representation of stagnation, of I am going to get zero value from this because I know everything my character does. There is nothing this guy on the other side of the screen is going to teach me that I don't already know about my character. I've watched tutorials, I've watched pros play. He's not going to do anything different. So I felt as if, not that the insecurity of I didn't want them to think that they were a better player than me, I just did not think... I just genuinely felt as if mirror matches were a waste of time. Realistically, no. That's stupid. That's a very dumb way to think. If you kind of think about that conversation or that logic for more than 2 fucking seconds, you'll begin to realize that it's literally just, wait a minute. Even at lower rank players that play the same character as you may resort to different strategies other than just showing you the character's kit and what they can do. Yeah, you know optimal stuff, but do you really know this insane cornball ass Dominican mind game setup? You know, like, it's the idea is that yes, you do know the basic fundamentals of your character. Hell, you might even know advanced stuff. But at the end of the day, there are always going to be players that play the same character as you that do completely different strategies in different situations. Therefore, technically, adding to your repertoire of tools that you can use in different situations. This is also why I think that another conversation that another take that people might find a little controversial. I think mirror matches don't decide shit. I see a lot of people doing like really weird like mirror matches or mirror match like exhibition matches where it's like first to 10 to see who's the best Ryu player or some shit, and it's Ryu versus Ryu. I genuinely do not think that that is a good and accurate way to determine which one of you is a better Ryu player. You're just determining which one of you is good at the Ryu matchup, right? Like, you're just determining, oh, I can play this matchup better than you can. But that doesn't mean you're a better Ryu player than me. Because if you go over to, like, let's say, both of us run into a JP player. I'm way better at the JP matchup than you are. Does that mean I'm a better Ryu player than you? You know? So, again, exiting that mindset is like the best way to kind of approach mirror matches in a more healthy way, to kind of see them as way more of a learning opportunity than you may think. Let's see what this guy can teach me. Let's see the weird esoteric strategies that I wouldn't even think of trying to pull off in that situation, right? They are valuable. Mirror matches in any scenario, including people who don't really play the character as much as you do, can teach you something that you didn't even consider. So, you know, I hope that you managed to learn something from that. A good takeaway, I hope.